Y'all, is the fairy tale romance between Common and Jennifer Hudson already starting to crumble? Because if you've been anywhere near social media lately, you've seen the whispers, the sly emojis, the cropped photos, the cryptic comments. And right in the middle of it all, Tiffany Haddish, smiling like she just stumbled on the plot twist she's been waiting for. But is this a genuine heartbreak brewing? Or just another round of Hollywood telephone where gossip gets passed around, dressed up and thrown back at the public like it's fact? Stick with me, because by the time we're done, you'll see exactly why this story feels so familiar and why people can't stop talking about it. When Common and Jennifer Hudson went public, the reaction was almost cinematic. Two respected artists, two clean reputations, two people who seemed to radiate genuine admiration for each other. Common didn't just hint that he liked her, he laid it all out, called her the prototype, told interviewers with a straight face that if marriage was ever on the table, Jennifer would be the person. Fans thought they were watching history. Finally, a relationship that could break the cycle. The cycle that Common had been quietly building for years, but in Hollywood, sometimes what looks solid in public is already shifting behind the scenes. And in this case, the first cracks would appear sooner than anyone expected. At first, it was small. A few vague social media posts, a couple of blurry photos, and whispers that Common was being seen a little too often without Jennifer. This wasn't a TMZ headline or an official sources confirmed leak. It was the kind of gossip that starts in fan DMs, slips into comment sections, and suddenly ends up as a trending topic. And then came the wild card. Tiffany Haddish. She didn't confirm anything. She didn't deny anything either, but her timing? Impeccable. A perfectly placed comment here. A knowing smile during an interview there. It was enough to make people think, wait, does she know something we don't? Tiffany Haddish is no stranger to headlines, but this was different. When she was with Common, she was openly smitten. After the breakup, the sweetness disappeared, replaced by the occasional sly dig. One fan asked her about jewelry Common had supposedly given her. Without missing a beat, Tiffany replied, "He never gave me those. Probably gave them to Jennifer." That wasn't just a throwaway joke. It was a breadcrumb. And for people who follow celebrity drama, breadcrumbs are gold. Because here's the thing, when an ex who really knows you drops those hints, the public eats it up. But to really understand why this story has so much bite, you have to know Common's history. And it's a pattern that goes back decades. Common's dating life has been anything but low-key. The names are big, the relationships are brief, and the endings? Messy more often than not. Erykah Badu, 2000 to 2002. They were the bohemian power couple of the early 2000s, all art, soul, and creativity. But when it ended, Common said she dumped him over the phone because she liked someone else. Erykah later hinted at his inability to stay truly grounded, and maybe to stay faithful. Taraji P. Henson, 2005. It was never an all-access relationship, but insiders said Taraji wanted deeper commitment than he was willing to give. The result? A quiet fade-out that left her fans frustrated. Serena Williams, 2007 to 2010, on and off. Common's longest public relationship at the time. They looked picture perfect, but Serena has since talked about wanting someone all in, a comment many thought was about him. Angela Rye, 2017 to 2018. Angela wanted marriage and kids. Common didn't. And just like that, it was over. The pattern is clear. Intense starts, glowing public praise, then a sudden and final pullback. And here's the twist. This pattern didn't start in the spotlight. It goes way further back. Before the fame, before the red carpets, Common's dating life already had its rhythm. Friends from Chicago have quietly said he was magnetic, funny, charming, and easy to connect with. But when things started getting serious, he'd vanish into his work, his art, or just into thin air. It's that same what's next mindset that would later play out on a much bigger stage, and with much bigger consequences. Tiffany Haddish's chapter in Common's life began in 2020. They'd worked together before, but it was the pandemic that brought them closer. Quarantine made it easy to fast-track intimacy. Suddenly they were everywhere together, cooking, laughing, sharing glimpses of their lives online. Tiffany seemed genuinely happy. She spoke about birthdays, future plans, even joked about wanting property instead of a ring. But behind the humor, she was serious. She wanted this to work. And maybe that's why the breakup in late 2021 felt so abrupt. Common blamed their busy schedules. Tiffany suggested he might just be wired to never fully settle down. But to see why Tiffany might feel a little vindicated right now, you have to know who she was before Common. Before Common, Tiffany's dating life wasn't a media circus. She's admitted to staying too long in relationships that didn't serve her, because she's loyal sometimes to her own detriment. She's a work-it-out person, which is the exact opposite of Common's quick-in, quick-out approach. That contrast is part of what made their split sting, and why any hint of trouble in his current relationship might feel like karma coming back around. And speaking of karma, Jennifer Hudson's own love life has been anything but smooth. Jennifer Hudson's life is a blend of incredible triumph and unimaginable loss. She went from American Idol underdog to Oscar winner in just a few years, a meteoric rise that came with intense pressure. Her relationship with wrestler David Otunga brought stability at first. They had a son in 2009, but things fell apart amid accusations, legal battles, and emotional strain. Add to that the devastating loss of her mother, brother, and nephew in 2008, and you see why stability matters so much to her, which is why even rumors of betrayal carry a different weight. But there's one more factor making this story explode the way it has, and her name is Tiffany Haddish. Most celebrity rumors fade without someone feeding the fire. Tiffany Haddish? She's basically an accelerant. She doesn't have to say much, just enough to keep people guessing. A sly Instagram-like, a perfectly timed joke. The public fills in the rest. And because she's famous herself, her words carry weight. She's not just an ex. She's a public figure with her own audience, her own platform, and her own reasons for keeping the story alive. But maybe this isn't about Jennifer at all. Maybe it's about Common and why he keeps repeating the same story. In the celebrity world, relationships are under constant scrutiny. Every outing is photographed, every absence is noticed. For some, the pressure makes settling down feel like a trap. Common has admitted to struggling with balance between career, self-growth, and partnership. And while he's spoken about therapy and wanting to be better, patterns don't break overnight. And right now, perception is everything, even if reality is completely different. Here's the fact. There is no confirmed evidence that Common cheated on Jennifer Hudson. All of this is built on commentary, entertainment gossip, and Tiffany's timing. But in the court of public opinion, evidence isn't always required. One comment becomes 10. 10 become 100. 100 become trending. Suddenly you've got people making timelines, matching Instagram captions, and building theories. And in an age where attention is currency, a rumor is often worth more than the truth. So what happens next could go one of two very different ways. If the rumors are false, Jennifer and Common can crush them fast. A joint appearance, a smiling photo, maybe even a public statement. If there's truth, history says Common will exit quietly and move on just as quietly. Either way, Tiffany will be watching and probably smiling. This isn't just a story about three people. It's a story about how we consume celebrity relationships like episodes of a drama series. We pick our heroes, we pick our villains, and we run with whatever keeps the plot moving. So is this the end of one of Hollywood's most promising love stories? Or just another rumor that got out of control? One thing's certain. In Hollywood, the sequel is always already in production.